My name's Greg Miller. How are we feeling, Los Angeles? I'm not going to lie, Los Angeles. I need a lot more than that. All right? I understand it's been a long day. Jeff Keeley's been out here yakking at you, all right? How are we doing, Los Angeles? You, sir, 30 more %. How are we doing, Los Angeles? That's what I want. Everybody follow him. How are we doing, Los Angeles? That's what I like to see. My name's Greg Miller, and we're about to talk about Rocket League Radical Summer. Can you guys believe that Rocket League is 4 years old? I don't believe it either, right? Can you remember when this thing came out, PlayStation Plus? We're all like, what's this game? Soccer with cars? That's a bad idea. Turns out it wasn't. Very successful. We're going to talk about all that first, but to get everyone up to speed, both here in Los Angeles and at home, let's see the Radical Summer trailer for Rocket League. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the creators of Rocket League, Psyonix! Gentlemen, it certainly is a radical summer.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, I thought that'd get a bigger laugh. Why don't we go down the line? Everybody introduce yourselves. What do you do at Psyonix? What do you do on Rocket League? We'll start with you, young man.
My name is Jeremy Dunham. I'm the Vice President of Publishing, and I oversee all of our really fun things like marketing and communications and esports. And I work with these guys quite a bit on putting content and big initiatives together for the game.
Sir?
I'm Scott Rudy. I'm the game director and responsible for day-to-day operations and making sure stuff gets in on time, what's next, what does the game need.
Okay, and finally.
Yeah, hi, I'm Jason Rouse. I'm the art director. I work a lot with the art team as well as the entire team and make just fascinating art.
And there's some fascinating art in Radical Summer, is there not?
Absolutely, there's tons of it. There's about 50 items that we narrowed down from 200 items, and we'll go over those as well.
We're going to go over those one by one on this panel.
Starting alphabetically.
Starting alphabetically. Jeremy.
Yes.
Where did the idea for Radical Summer come from?
Wow, well, that was something that's actually near and dear to the 40-somethings up here on the stage. But it was an idea that has been germinating for a long time.
Yeah.
It was just shortly after our 3-year anniversary ended last year at the summertime that we said, wow, that was really great. We had the most engagement, the most active players we've ever had in any Rocket League event. How do we top that? And at the same time, we were talking about bringing in Ecto-1 from the Ghostbusters because it was a really popular request from our fans. and we wanted to.
You can say it was just me.
It was.
That
it was
I
you.
kept nonstop harassing you.
It was the fans, but you helped because at our celebration, I did ask you like, "Hey, what do you think about the Ecto One?" And you had a meltdown, and
yeah, and you're like, I guess I
made
should
it
put it in
in.
there, and then you did, right?
But it was also Scott and I had worked together previously at Zipper Interactive way back when.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. And we were looking for a great way to work together. So when we were going in with the idea of coming up with a way to make Ecto One bigger and better than we could normally do in a single promotion, finding a way that we could work together like the old days, we started putting our heads together to come up with ideas about how to make it bigger and more interesting. And it took an amazing amount of conversation internally with our teams and with outside partners, almost a full year to get it going. But that's in short how Radical Summer started.
Scott, is that what the day-to-day life at Psyonix is like? You're like, what can we put in Rocket League? You're just in a meeting room
a bit,
nonstop?
or what does the game need? You
Yeah.
know, what are the players, what are they saying online? Because we really listen to a lot of our community and stuff. But it was really funny, this meeting where I first heard Radical Summer or something like that. You could see Jeremy was like girding up to really convince me, and it was going to be a knockdown, drag out. And as soon as he said, a bunch of 80 stuff, and we'll really celebrate it, and I was like, actually, no, that's really good. Let's do it. And you looked disappointed, actually, like you were wanting that fight.
Well, I need to get my steps in. If I can't get the steps, I need to get it out another way.
Yeah, but like Jeremy's saying, it's just summer's one of our more popular times, and last year's summer event just seemed to have a very good flow and theme around it completely with the Salty Shores and just how it felt.
Sure.
And so we really wanted to see where we could take that, and so it's been a long journey, but it's been a lot of fun.
I mean, I can only imagine what the journey's like for you guys. I mean, let alone Rocket League, again, 4 years old this year. That's crazy. But even the idea of, hey, let's get the Ecto One and some Ghostbusters reference in there, I have to imagine is so many hurdles with Sony, with Ghost Corp, with everybody else, let alone to then go, well, let's get Knight Rider, and let's get WWE, and let's get this. Like, when you talked to me last year about what did I think of the Ecto One, Jeremy, was that the tip of the iceberg in terms of had you started those conversations yet?
We had started the conversation for Ecto One. We hadn't done any of the other conversations yet because Radical Summer kind of was born out of the idea that we did want to commit to Ecto One.
Yeah.
But
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters.
Best movie of all time. No big deal.
Happy 35th anniversary to
Thank
them.
you very much. I'll tell him
thank
next time I see him.
But it was an interesting process because they were already in. The complicated part was actually making sure that we weren't just insulated in our idea, that the team itself was also really excited, because that's important. Whenever you're making any video game or any creative product at all, you can have leads or other people that are involved in decision making coming up with these ideas, but if the team doesn't believe in it and they're not bought in, at that point you're not doing a team effort, you're just kind of giving orders or commands.
Sure.
So it was very important for all of us to make sure that our teams were also really interested in the idea. And we ran the very unofficial focus group with our children before moving on to actual market research, and all of them told us the same thing, which is this is a really good idea and that people would be excited. And the team, Jason's team in particular, with all the content that they created, had a ton of ideas. We had to call so many.
I was going to say, Jason, I have to imagine it's both in some ways intimidating, right, to take on these icons, but another way you have to be like, oh my gosh, this is going to be so much fun.
Yeah, I mean, depending on the type of item that we're talking about, like a lot of the team did have buy-in and they were excited about it. Ecto One, an example, everyone's like, oh my gosh, who doesn't know Ecto One? Right?
Yeah.
Hopefully everyone here does. When we
Does
created
anyone
that-
not know Ecto One?
Anybody?
You can
Okay,
leave, sir.
one.
Please. All right? I'll give you the $20 to buy Ghostbusters.
You're okay. Anyway, so trying to figure out how can we incorporate this car into Rocket League and the Rocket League standards was a bit of a challenge, but we worked closely with Sony Pictures and got concept approval, went back to kind of the rough, made sure that the body felt good in game, and I think to most people's surprise, it feels pretty good.
Yeah.
We were pretty worried about that at the beginning. We're like,
Yeah.
the Ecto Ones, it's a big pig of a car.
Yeah, if you don't, again, just for you, sir, since you're the only one. Ecto,
Yes.
it is the car. Have you never seen Ghostbusters? You don't remember the car? Remember, like, the doors open, do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do, and they, like, man, you need to watch Ghost. Yeah, exactly, yeah, you understand now, you remember.
There you go.
That was the best thing ever.
But anyways,
Thank
the
you.
car's a boat, right?
Yeah, it's a
Ecto 1
boat.
is a gigantic
Total
long
boat.
car.
Yeah, and we're like, we're gonna have that in the same area as Octane,
Yeah.
which is a very light and springy car and everything. And will it look right? Will it feel right? And then we hooked it up, and we're like, well, hell, this is doing great.
Yeah, one of the biggest challenges was the back door, because on the original Ecto it swings wide,
Yeah.
one door. Because it's so long, in addition to the length of the car, it made it challenging, right? So we turned that into a double door, and that solved all of our problems. And luckily, everything was approved, and it turned out great.
I was going to say, like, you guys obviously work with a lot of different licenses with Rocket League. You have, Back to the Future, the list goes on.
Yep.
Was Sony and Ghost Quarter, were they, like, nickel and diming you about things? Or did they, like, was that an okay thing of taking the door and making it into two?
Oh, no, that's totally you.
It's like,
me?
everybody looks around. That's when you know it's like, this is a career-ending question. Someone
No,
else
not
can
at all.
answer.
They're actually really great to work with. They actually helped us quite a bit. They sent us a ton of reference material. And they were already fans of the game, which is a big help. We didn't need to sell them on it. They had come to us originally as fans of the game, saying, "Is this something you'd like to do?" And we're like, of course, we're fans of yours.
Yeah.
I think that in terms of most of our, all of licensed products, was one of the quickest, easiest ways to get any car through. I think a lot of the things that we kind of focused on, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jason, was some of the more detail-oriented things, like the customization items, like making sure Slimer looked like Slimer, making sure the Proton Beam looked like the Proton Beam. Those are the things where you can really kind of get lost in the details, and I think that's where most of the focus was. But what was great about working with them in general is that they trust us to show their brand in the way it should be shown, because we've done those other licenses before, and also we had to trust them to tell us if we got it wrong. And it was a pretty painless process, I'd say, for the most part.
I would definitely agree. It was a really good process, successful.
Scott, for Radical Summer, Ghostbuster Ecto 1 pack out already. There's a new Ghostbusting mode, right?
Yeah, so with Radical Summer, it's a 9-week event, and it's broken into 3 phases. So this first 3 weeks, we have a new limited time game mode called Ghost Hunt, and it's really inspired by the hotel ballroom scene where they're first trapping Slimer. And we wanted to see, well, what can we do with that with gameplay? And so, like anything else weird in Rocket League, we start with Rumble, which is where you basically play soccer, but you have all these special abilities that are randomly given to you. And so you could do like a plunger that pulls the ball after you and stuff like that. And I think we started with the magnet ability and maybe a little bit of the plunger. And basically, so you want to trap the ball when you hit the power up, and then take it to the trap. So instead of a goal being a vertical surface, we want to trap it into the ground.
Sure.
And that was a lot of work, because it's enough unlike our regular game modes that we really had to start from scratch and stuff. And thank goodness Greg, our gameplay programmer, really went in swing, and he's got a really good design mind too. So he was able to just power through a lot of that, and we iterated on that thing a ton. And I'm really curious, because it's been live for a couple days.
Yeah.
And I want to see what the player's journey is on developing tactics and stuff, and if they're similar to the in-game developers, how at some point you really get these strategies and increases the skill of the play.
What is that like? You create a video game, you sit there, you create mechanics, you test it in the office, you open it up to family and friends to have them tested, then you get it out in the wild.
Yeah.
And immediately the audience, the players, are doing things you never thought possible.
Sure, it's terrifying and it's thrilling, and it's why I do it. It's a huge thrill to see people do things with your game. I've been doing it for 25 years now, and it's always, I'm not tired of that part at all.
Yeah.
And so really just seeing where they can go with it and surprising you, and the emergent behaviors that players will just take it, I think that's the best part.
Jeremy, this is a loaded question, and I'm not trying to get you.
All right.
Do you think Psyonix needs to ever make another video game? And I say it not trying to get you to announce what you're working on, even though it'd be great if you did. Really help out the panel and get me some good follows on Twitter. What I'm saying is that you guys continue to iterate on Rocket League in a way that I'll never forget, ladies. And for the record, I know a lot of people on the internet aren't Greg Miller fans. So when I'm sure I came out here, they're like, oh, this guy's yelling, all that stuff, and they were being real mean to me in the chat. What I want to point out is Jeremy Dunham is the guy who hired me originally at IGN and started my career. So if you don't like me, really, you need to blame him.
Yeah, it's all my fault. Sorry.
Like I didn't mean to do this to you and ruin your internet, but he did. I remember when you originally started working on this game, and you told me you have to come see this game, and I was like, what is it again? And you're like, it's soccer with cars, and I was like, that's a dumb idea. That's not gonna go anywhere. And then we obviously went and played it, and it was awesome, and it was great, but and there was no way to know the phenomenon Rocket League was going to become that first time you played it, or when you brought it by Kind of Funny that one time, and it was you and Doug Perry crammed in our small studio playing it on a Twitch stream. Even from there, even with the success it found at launch, I was like, this is awesome. Clearly it can't last. The Rocket League, the players leave. There's always attrition. It's so rare that you find an audience that will stick with it, let alone an audience that'll come to it over and over again, let alone 4 years later, new fans coming in for the first time. Like, do you guys work on the presumption that one day we'll get to something, or no, we're Rocket League for the rest of time?
I think one of the reasons Rocket League is successful is because we don't presume anything. First of all, you're right. We didn't anticipate the game to be going this strong 4 years later. We were happy with just the fact that we were going to come out on PlayStation Plus and see an audience that was going to be much bigger than what we could normally otherwise get. But the crazy thing is that every year we've had more players than the year before for 4 years running. So that is something we definitely didn't anticipate. And it's something you can't take for granted either. You really have to remember that the reason that you're getting to that point is because the players are coming in back to the game, giving you feedback. They're really doing us a favor through their behavior and through their comments, letting us know what they like and don't like. And we have to react to that in a responsible way forever. Because our goal for Rocket League is that it is a forever game. I know that a lot of games have always had those aspirations, but we think this is one of the few video games out there that could really be in existence 10 years from now, 20 years from now, with the right adjustments to visuals, obviously, and other technological leaps. Because our goal for Rocket League is to be a ubiquitous game that's independent of what platform it's on, and independent of what snapshot in time you might be looking at. Because another big push for us is to make this a true esport that's available to people of all ages, all skill levels, no matter where they're at. And taking on all those different responsibilities at once is a lot of work. Yeah. It's a really long way of saying, maybe I won't answer your question, but I will answer it. We have always had prototype teams working on other games. The luxury that Rocket League has afforded us, though, is that there's no rush or hurry to work on other games.
Sure.
And
the Valve method.
Sort of. But this has always been the way that Psyonix did things. It's how Rocket League was made, actually. Rocket League was a game in the background for years and years as a sequel to, here we go, Supersonic Acrobatic Rocket-Powered Battle Cars. If you ever played that game, we shortened it for obvious reasons. It's much easier to say Rocket League than the other one.
Did anyone play that game?
Anyone at all?
Woo!
Thank you. Get together with Ghostbusters guy, and then you guys can do something awesome. But because we don't have to rush things, and at that time we were bringing in money to the studio by doing dev work for other companies, it allowed us to take our time and iterate on all the things that the community had told the team that they wanted for the sequel. And that's what we're doing with all of the things that we are developing in the background, whether or not they ever get out of any kind of new game status or they're just ideas left on the cutting room floor. It's something that was always in the back of our mind. We always have people dedicated to it, but there's no hurry and no rush and no reason to push anything out for the sake of doing it, and that's all thanks to Rocket League and the fans who play it.
That's awesome. And it's a story you don't hear a lot of, I think, in modern gaming, let alone gaming, period.
No, because the news cycles are so short. It's like this game is a big hit, and then on to the next big hit game, or how this game is failing. But for us, it's important that we are stable, that we're there for players whenever they want to play us. We're a game that's available for people regardless of what their mindset is. Palate cleansers for some folks when they've played something big and involving, or their go-to game. We'll take it either way. We're just glad to be available for them.
So Scott, no pressure. Just you're the game director on this game that's keeping this studio going and letting you afford all these luxuries and all this stuff. Like, how do you direct Rocket League, an ongoing game, right? That's been out
chaos.
For 4 years.
It's pure chaos. Yeah? No, I don't even know. No. So really just working on that 5-year plan and trying to anticipate what players want and really studying their behaviors in the game. What do they like? You know, stop doing that. What do they really like? Start doing more of that. And just learning, taking lessons that I've learned over the years on what players need, like a new player experience, and ease them into the game, because we've got a very high skill ceiling, and it could be scary for a lot of people. First time experience, you see somebody aerial or something, and I'm out, right? This is magic. This is not the game. It's like, no.
He's using the Game Shark. I'm out of here.
We put them in with the rest of the ball chasers and just say, just go. It's like, 8-year-old soccer, just go, right? And have fun, right? Just bump the ball, and you'll get there. And how to assist them in that. And then on the other side of that, someone who's been playing, maybe even they came from
supersonic, acrobatic, rocket-powered.
I used to be able to do that, but I'm nervous today. That's right. And so even if they were playing there, they've been playing Rocket League for 4 years. How do we keep them, right? How do we keep the game interested and stuff? And that's why I'm excited for Radical Summer, because it's really the first of our limited time game modes where we actually say, hey, for this short amount of time, you could play Rocket League a bit differently and enjoy something fresh.
And that's what's so fascinating about it, I think, is that you're able to go out and take a game and these mechanics and use it as a platform. Really, that's the thing, and I think so many people want that.
Yeah, there's such a strong foundation. I think Psyonix really, I was hired a year and a few months ago. And the pleasant thing is the fun was already there. Like, you didn't have to, and that's the hard part, is finding that magic formula on the second-to-second gameplay is actually a ton of fun. It's intrinsically fun. You're not chasing for an item to justify that you're playing this game. You're doing it because you just love to go after that ball and get those scores, and maybe someday you do a flip reset and feel good about yourself, right? Not me. And so having that there, it's a wonderful foundation. It takes a lot of the pressure off, and I could really come in instead of emergency mode, just like, okay, how can I take this 2% better this time and 2% better next time, and really plan out how to just gradually make it stronger as a game.
So you talk about listening to the audience, right? Responding to what they want. Mm-hmm. What is it like then to be here now, week 1 of Radical Summer, right? It was pressing the launch button on either the game or the trailer we saw to announce all of it. Is that terrifying? Because again, you're locked in now for 9 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we talked about it so much, and we're just like, oh, I can't wait. So, like, if we were jazzed on it, we knew we had the 40-somethings, and that's a place to start.
And let me tell you, there's no hotter demographic to get in gaming than
that's
the 40-somethings.
Yeah, put down Civilization and come play us. God, I'm too old. And so,
when you get home from your daughter's graduation,
why
not pop into Rocket League?
That's exactly it. But yeah, it always is terrifying. Is this going to resonate with a lot of our players? And I think it really, just a lot of the reaction videos that we were seeing and just the comments we were seeing, it really paid off. So, congrats to you, Jeremy, for the original idea and pushing on this.
Well, thank you, but it's really the team. If we didn't have the team to get behind it,
no, we don't need them.
We absolutely need them.
These 3 guys up here could do the entire Rocket League if they needed to.
I am a dead man when I get back.
Without the team, we wouldn't have been able to do anything that we were able to do. We really, when I was saying earlier, we needed team buy-in. It's not just because we want to feel good about the idea. It's because we need their talent and their ability to juggle not only Radical Summer, but all the other things we're working on at the same time. And that, I think, has always been Psyonix's strength, is that we have an amazing attention to detail, and we really want to get things right, because I'd say the majority of our studio really does have a presence. Even if they're not vocal, they have a presence on a lot of social media, a lot of forums, Twitter, Reddit, Instagram. They listen to these comments and they read it, and we talk about it internally all the time. And the good thing about working at Psyonix also is that it's not reactionary. We realize we've become a very educated team about how the internet reacts to various things. We know that there's always
they don't overreact at all.
No, never happens. But we do know that the initial reaction is always very emotional.
Yeah.
And then you don't want to react to that first emotional reaction. You want to wait a little bit and get as much feedback as you can, and then see if that is maintained. And then that kind of informs you a little bit better as to what is an authentic complaint as opposed to something that's a little more personal to someone. And I think our team has done a really good job of being able to disseminate the differences between someone reacting and someone actually giving thoughtful feedback. And I think that's been one of the lesser-known keys to the game's success.
So we're into Radical Summer already. It's begun. When you guys get home from E3, you can go and play it. what is still to come? We talked about Ecto 1. We talked about Blockbuster being like wave 1. What is still to come to Radical Summer?
Me?
Sure.
Phase 2 will start on July 1st, and that's not only our fourth anniversary of the game, it's also going to be our celebration of 80s culture. And so what you're going to see there are fewer licensed items, but you are going to see things like VCR toppers.
And the brick phone.
And the brick phone. And also the game mode that I think we're all most excited about, which is called Spike Rush. And Spike Rush is really cool because Rocket League is soccer with cars, but Spike Rush is rugby with cars. So what we really want to see from our player base is if it resonates as well with them as it does with us, because we think this is, of all the modes, the one that's most likely to have a potential life beyond the event. And that's something we're watching really closely. And if you want an explanation to how it works, we do use our spikes from Rumble. But what's different about that is that you're able to let go of the spikes and grab them at any time so that you can actually throw the ball into the goal like you would in
flicks
rugby.
Can really get on.
Yeah.
And also, while you got the ball, you got no boost. And so, because there's been spikes-only mods before, and people playing on that, and what you end up is a dominant strategy of people just sailing across and scoring. And another thing about Spike Rush is we put it in Throwback Stadium with the goals that are outset from the walls. And it just felt like it worked. So it's been a really good one. And I was a little bit this terror about, is this going to go over well? And so late in our iteration on this game mode, we started to get concerned a little bit. Well, this is going a little too well, and this is going to be a limited time mode. And at some point, we're going to turn this off, however short, and people are going to freak out and demand more of it. I hope.
I hope so too. And then Phase 3, that will begin on July 21st. And that is going to be a celebration of 80s television. And that is when we introduce Kit from Knight Rider as DLC, which is something that our fans have been asking about for literally 4 years. And this made the most sense to put it there, on top of bringing in our own version of Beach Ball, which you can't really have a summer celebration without hitting a ball on a beach. And on top of having some really cool little detail-oriented things, like I mentioned earlier, that are just for the community. Like they've been asking us for a long time for a night version of Salty Shores, and Jason's team did that for them. You can actually play that in the game now, right? Or is that not until then?
Comes in on July 1st.
July 1st,
Right.
so soon. And that is a request we've had since the first one came out. And
we did make the daytime lighting changes.
yeah, and that's the one that went out already, the daytime lighting changes, because the feedback in the older one was a little too bright. Now it's a little bit more naturalistic. I think people like it more on the whole.
Yeah, they still say it's bright. It's like, well, it's daytime at the beach.
Yeah,
So
right.
That's how the sun
it's
works.
not,
I can't help
it's
you.
a sun thing.
Yeah. But we have nighttime if they want it. And along with some licensed items like Voltron, which we're a big fan of. The Voltron boost, by the way, is awesome. It's just really cool. If you guys have ever seen the cartoon, either one from the 80s or the one now, whenever the lions come together to transform, they have all their different colors, and it forms this rainbow. We've recreated that in the game as the boost.
That's awesome.
And it looks fantastic. All of our boosts look really good. Your team did a great job.
Vaporwave boost. It's pretty.
Yeah,
pretty
Vaporwave
solid.
boost.
That
in
thing's
the
not
culture.
messing around.
That's the one that was the one that you saw when the car was leaping into the movie screen during the trailer. That was the Vaporwave boost.
And one other really cool thing is about with Kit Car is we have new tech. So the Gullwing steering wheel that's within Kit Car, it's actually a topper, and it rotates as you steer. So it's pretty cool. Kit Car is I think people are going to be really excited about that one when it comes out. Also, Dominus Hitbox as well as Ecto 1 is using Dominus Hitbox. A lot of people have been asking. So there you go.
Jason, what's it like to make art for this game? Because I think if you were to talk, even the way we started the panel, we're talking about making the Ecto 1. You can wrap your head around that. But then it's also making antenna and making toppers and making wheels and making boosts. Like, I feel like, are you broken up into sub-teams on the art team?
So first of all, our team is very small. There's 20-ish people on the art team, and that includes concept, animation, effects, and then 3D artists. It's crazy what that team will develop, and it's also crazy in the amount of spectrum that they'll create. Like we just released, well, not just, but we released the cow udders. I don't know if people remember that as a topper. It's like, are we ever going to release these? I don't know. And then finally we said, yeah, let's do it. Why not? This game's fun. It's all about fun. Let's release something crazy like cow udders. And then we go back into the serious mode, and we'll create a sports car, and we hear the community out, and we know that some people are saying, oh, there's maybe too many sports cars coming down the pipe, so we're switching that up, and we're making more fun cars. And it's crazy. It's the amount of input that we get internally and externally. It does help, but I rely a lot on our artists to come up with initial ideas, and also people within the studio. And it's great to work with these guys and everybody on the team. It's amazing.
Yeah, the level of talent on the team is just incredible. It's almost weird to be surrounded by that, because you're like, why am I here? Because they're all so good.
How big is the team now, Jeremy?
We're just under 140 people company-wide, if you count all positions and all departments. For reference, when we launched Rocket League, we had 36 people.
Lord.
And if you were with us in the very beginning, you might remember that we launched with quite a few challenges on the internet side, or the networking side, because we did not anticipate everybody coming to play the game. But it was a good problem to have, and I know I've told the story a million times in other interviews and whatnot, but we literally had to rewrite our networking code that first week post-launch in order to get it working the way we wanted to. And to Scott's point, we have such a talented team. The guy who came in to help us with that, Dan, we were so good, we offered him a job, made him our director of online services. And that's sort of the way that we approach game development, is we want to find the best people that we can with the most knowledge. And if they show us that they want to work with us, we want to work with them, come on board. And that's why we've been, the way that we recruit is to find other people that are as passionate and talented as the folks that we've already had. But without the typical taboos that come with game development. When we hire people, we're looking for people that want stability and want a team that believes in them as much as they deserve. And that's why one of the things I think separates us from the typical company is that people are individuals to us, they matter, and it doesn't matter how big we get, we're always going to maintain that philosophy.
When you go back and you think of 4 years ago, and you're launching this thing, and the servers are imploding, and you're getting way more people than you ever thought possible, where does it go from, this is such a crazy once-in-a-lifetime thing, to, wait, this is not stopping. This could be this game's every day?
I think that we haven't hit our peak yet.
Really?
Yeah, I think we still have a really, really big future ahead of us. So it hasn't happened yet. In terms of, it's definitely happened in the sense that, oh yeah, this game's going to keep going. That occurred to us, I'd say, around the end of 2015, when we were still seeing a lot of people come in despite all the other games that had come out. But our goal is to continue to outdo ourselves year after year. And I believe very strongly that we're going to have many more players, many more modes, many more opportunities for people to enjoy Rocket League in the next few years, more so than they did in the years that have already passed. Because our goal really is, like, now what can we do? And there are so many ideas that we haven't had time to get to them all yet. But that's why we're hiring people, so that we can eventually get all these ideas out. And I think once they do get out, people are going to continue to be happy. And as usual, we're going to continue to listen to them and try to come up with more.
That's awesome. I mean, is that the future of Rocket League, you think? Something that just transcends platforms and transcends time? And
that's our hope.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's our hope. We want Rocket League to be like football or soccer or baseball or basketball. Something that people can tell their kids, you want to learn to play with this. One day there might be the opportunity to get Rocket League scholarships. There could be a Rocket League in every school in America one day. These are the sorts of things that we talk about and are trying to find ways to realize. And we're not going to give up until we get there.
So you bring up esports, right, and scholarships. What is the studio side of all that? Obviously, I was telling you right before we came on, right? My alma mater, University of Missouri, just tweeted out yesterday, Mizzou Esports has signed these varsity players for the Rocket League team. And it was them having their signing day, right? And it's like such a crazy thing for me, being the video game guy and remembering what it was like to go to school there a long, long time ago, and have no one really be able to wrap their head around it, let alone these people who are going there on scholarship now to play for all this. What does Psyonix do to nurture that? Like, how big of an influence is that on Rocket League day to day?
It's a massive influence. One of our biggest challenges and also opportunities is how to grow the esports system in general. And we've really embraced collegiate because we think one of the things that a lot of games do when they focus on esports is they only focus on the top tier. These are the best. This is the top 0.111%. Let's only focus on them. And in order to be a truly successful sport of any kind, regardless if you're a video game or not, people need to be able to feel like they can have fun no matter what their skill level is and feel like they have an opportunity to play. When you and I used to work together, for example, there would be flag football games sometimes that our coworkers would have on the weekend.
For the record, we did not go to those. I don't know if you can look at us and tell.
Yeah.
We were not playing flag football.
We went to the all-you-can-eat wings place.
Hell yeah, we did.
But it's really true.
It's 100% true.
100%. But it was still, we didn't have aspirations of going pro. We knew that we weren't going to be on the broadcast somewhere, but we were having fun playing flag football. And that's the same opportunity people need for Rocket League. They need to be able to say, I can play this in my living room, have fun, or I can go all the way to the World Championship and maybe become the best in the world. But collegiate is very important to us because, as you know, you went to Mizzou, you know how school pride is a very important aspect for a lot of people, and also building steps for you to get to that next level. And if you don't nurture all levels of skill, you're never going to get there. You're going to have people that give up because the second they start playing, they know they're not going to be the best on day one. You need to give them 600, 700, 800 days where they can find a really nice path to get to wherever it is they're ultimately get to. So it's a big challenge, but it's something we take very seriously. Scott has been a really great ally for us over the last year in trying to incorporate more esports-related functionality into the game and features. And the whole team at Sonics is really into our World Championship, which, quick plug, is next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in Newark, New Jersey. There you go.
This guy loves it.
He'll be there. Please go. It's if you can. It's almost completely sold out, and it's at the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. So we think that's a good sign. It's going to be a big show, and we think, again, it's already the biggest show we've ever had on the RLCS, and we think the future is going to have even bigger ones.
Again, Scott, no pressure.
None.
How do you do that? How do you work on a game and make changes to a game that is something people are being that competitive about, right? That they're selling out the Prudential Center for.
Very carefully.
It's like tiddlywinks. You move on, try not to knock them all over.
So we got an excellent game analytics team that really can, because you hear people emotionally, the fans on Reddit and social media and stuff like that. So you take that, and then you also look at the pure science of it, of here's what they're actually doing, and you put those together, and then you still, at the end of the day, listen to your experience and your gut about, hey, what do we need to do? What do we need to change? Because everybody wants to make some radical changes. To the game.
Summer out now.
Radical summer change. But that would actually be corrosive to the core gameplay, and that's something that, again, is there. We don't need to change the core gameplay. It's actually doing quite well. We just need to make sure it's healthy and getting funnels into it for people. And so, like for esports specifically, like how can we, some of the stuff I've been paying attention to is how can we improve the broadcaster experience so they can help us tell those stories easier with more power and accuracy on there. How do we make that a more powerful tool to show everybody how great this game is? And then another thing we're really looking into is like updating our tournament system so that we have like automatic tournaments run by the company that are on a schedule, and to create almost like minor leagues and local leagues to compete. So who's the best in your high school? Who's the best in your college? Because it's in-game, you can prove it. And I think that would really be a lot of fun for a lot of people.
Yeah, for sure. That'd be awesome. I mean, that's what I think Rocket League's so good at, right? I definitely fall into such an amateur of it, right? I remember when it launched, leading into it, I was pretty good, at least for the Kind of Funny office.
Of the 8 people that played it, when he played it, he was definitely in the top 8.
Thank you. That's what I like to hear. And so, like, I went away for a weekend to, like, a PAX or whatever when it came out, and I came back, and everybody online was so good. I was like, oh, well, I'm never playing a game. But coming back, and for me, the Switch being a big part of it, when you guys launched on Switch, being the idea of like, oh, well, everybody brings their Switch to the office. We can play here. We can do 2v2 here. And suddenly it was back to the way it was when we were all growing up, right? And it wasn't, are you the best in the world? It was, are you the best of your group of friends? And then you find another group of, a different group of friends, right? And they challenge you, he's the best of us. Can you beat you? And, and having that go back and forth and grow that way, right? Like you're talking about, be as casual as you want or as hardcore as you want it to be. What I thought was interesting earlier when we were talking about art, Jason. You brought up the hitboxes and how big the cars are. Is that something that is on your guys' mind every time you sit down to make an art asset? That we need something that looks cool and that's gonna be eye-catching and a casual fan's gonna love, but also it can't be a millimeter too big that would then give it an advantage on the field.
I think I work closely with Scott on this, but we generally don't want to release like a Dominus hitbox car over and over and over again, right? We try to mix them up. So maybe next time it'll be Octane, and next time it'll be flat. We don't know yet. We're so organic.
Yeah.
We just kind of play it by ear, and whatever fits for that release, whichever the best fit is at the time, then we'll kind of bookmark that and bring it up a notch, right?
Yeah, Corey's still in the office. He was our
Corey Davis. He's our
Corey
SVP
Davis.
of development. He was the game director before Scott.
Yeah, and before I locked him in my trunk. But no, he's really good at keeping us in line, and it's really valuable to have someone who not only was at the beginning of this game, but the previous game, and so he knows all the hidden, this is why we did this way in the beginning, and this is what we need to consider now. And so I luckily sit next to him. I'm like, why in the heck? And he's like, here's the reason, and it makes sense. So, because any video game, there's a ton of those. The longer your development, the more hidden gems that are in the game.
So I know we have a scale here in terms of how long you've all worked there, right? You've been game directing for a little over a year now. Jeremy, of course, been there forever. He's old as dirt.
About 5.5 years.
There you go, ancient. You know what I mean? How long have you been there, Jason?
Coming up on 2.5 years.
What I'd like to go is going down the line. What is the biggest thing you've learned working on this game?
That we need more people. That our ambition definitely outweighs our capabilities consistently, and that we definitely have to rein it in. But I've also learned that this is the best team in game that I've ever worked on, and every day I'm still excited. This game is 4 years old.
Yeah.
I am incredibly excited every day I go to work. I want to talk about what's next. I want to talk about not only what's next month, but what's next year and in 2 years. And I'm not alone. There are a lot of people like that. And so to me, I've learned that I've found the place that has so many passionate people that I want to go to work every day, regardless of what it is that we're going to talk about. It's just really exciting.
Scott?
Yeah, a lot of similar, but really, I came to Psyonix, and they really grew up by themselves. They were, a single studio that did it their way for quite a while now. And so learning how to work within that system, because I've been at a bunch of different companies, and they all do it differently. I mean, there's no one way to make a video game, because after I think it's 9 companies now, there have literally been 9 different ways to make video games that I've seen so far. And so really just always being a student of your craft, I think, is what I do, and I'm learning a lot from these excellent people around me every day.
Jason?
I would echo what both of you guys said. The other thing that I really enjoy about Psyonix is how fast-paced it is, and coming from a game where it takes 4 to 8 years to release and then finally see your work exposed, now it's like on a monthly basis, and that to me is really, really rewarding, and I think the team agrees. So.
And you talk about growing it themselves, right? Psyonix being this whole thing. Jeremy, Psyonix just got bought by Epic.
I heard about that, yeah.
You heard about that? That was in the news, I think, right? Yeah. Kind of Funny Games Daily. Probably heard about
Wait,
that.
what?
I gotta go.
Surprise.
What was the reasoning behind that? Why was Epic a good partner for you guys to go in on with?
Well, we're not closed yet, so we're officially not bought by Epic just yet.
So you're still accepting offers. Everybody,
You
get a
have
hat.
you have
pass
something
around.
in your pocket?
There we go. We got 50 and start.
But one of the things that was really important for the Epic relationship with us is that Dave Hagewood, who's our CEO, he came from Epic. He based a lot of the culture at Psyonix on his experience and time there. He worked on Unreal Tournament way back in the day, and he took a lot of the stuff that he learned there, the knowledge that he had about technology and design philosophy, and that's what he used to build Psyonix up. So when it came time to make a decision like that, he already knew the team. He had history with all of them. Our culture was based on their culture. And they are very much a company that doesn't want to come in and tell us what to do. They want us to keep doing what we're doing, and those are all check boxes that you should definitely look for if you're looking to part from owning the company. And we're really excited about it. We think that it's going to bring good things to us and to our community. We just can't talk about much more until after we close because we were still learning all this stuff ourselves.
No,
but we think it's going to be positive for everyone going forward.
I think so too. I mean, especially talking even on this panel, right, about the journey it's been these past 4 years, right? You're talking about your ambitions often outweighing the resources and the way you've hired up, but you still don't have enough people, right? I think the resources that Epic has, I think it's such a great partnership to see what Rocket League can be in another 4 years and what this platform can continue to give to players who love it so much.
Yeah, we agree.
Excellent. I'm sure Stephanie will get mad if we don't talk more about Radical Summer. It's still happening. Still going on, still available right now for you to get in on it. The biggest thing for me was I'm watching the trailer, and Playing with the Boys starts playing. Yeah. And I'm like, yes, this is great. I appreciate that they got this song for the trailer. Monday night, I go home, boot up Rocket League. The song starts playing again, Playing with the Boys. You put it in the game from literally booting up the game all the way through. I guess to set the stage for what Radical Summer is and how you better be all in on it, because Rocket League is.
Yeah, we knew everyone would ask, well, hey, the song's in the trailer, why isn't it in the game? So there it is.
What was the mentality behind going into this? Like, we talked about Ghostbusters, right? We talk about Knight Rider, but then there's Goonies references. There's all these different references peppered in, whether they be the headband, right?
There's E.T., Karate Kid, Back to the Future,
Yep.
Goonies, as you mentioned. That's just the first beat, right? The movie's beat. So
We have Voltron, we have classic WWE, and then free items from Knight Rider as well.
So it was just throw everything at the wall. Like, we talked about, obviously, Ecto being a impetus for it, Knight Rider making so much sense. Then was it just your guys' favorite franchises who you wanted to work with?
No. We had a massive list. We had over 100 IP that we were looking at one point.
Wow.
And we really had to pare it down, obviously. But what was important to us is that it was two things. It had to be, first of all, cool and iconic in the 80s, but it also had to be interesting and relevant to people today. And that's why Voltron, for example, is in the game, because my daughters love that show. It just ended its final season, but that's okay. They're devastated, but it was a good show. And they're not alone, though. It's one of the most successful shows that Netflix has is Voltron. And it came out in the 80s, so that was an easy one. Ghostbusters is celebrating its 35th anniversary. A new movie is coming. That's great. Knight Rider may not have a new show out right now, but it is an iconic car, and it looks awesome, and it's all black, which is something that our community has been asking us to do for a while, other than just a little bit of trim at the bottom. So these are all things that made a lot of sense for us to bring into the game and to touch on the nostalgia that parents would have, and at the same time bring in brands that are familiar to the fans that are younger too. So that was our strategy.
It was pretty Darwin in action there. A lot of the ones near and dear to us got cut pretty early because those under 30 were just like never heard of it. Like ColecoVision was I think the first casualty, and I almost cried, and I was like, I accept this, that no one knows.
And yet he's still bringing it up.
I will never let that go. We'll do it someday.
He's accepted it,
someday.
but he's not ready to let people off the hook for letting it die just yet.
some of those also dipped into either the 70s or the 90s a little too much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We wanted to keep
we
it in
looked
there.
at Rubik's Cube and we're like, oh, oh man, that's a 70s
right.
invention.
The other thing is you also need to make sure that the brand or the item makes sense from a perspective of gameplay too, and then or at least from customization. Because I look back at the 80s, and there are a lot of great movies from that time period that I love personally, like The Breakfast Club. A lot of people have seen that movie. But what one item from The Breakfast Club would necessarily resonate with people? And I'm sure you could come up with one, maybe a trench coat boost or something.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't have the same power that the Voltron boost would, or a Macho Man Randy Savage topper. You know, those are the things, which is in the game.
Oh yeah, I know.
And those are the sorts of things that made more sense. So it doesn't matter how beloved the property is; it also has to make sense in Rocket League.
My other question was, and again, this is just me being too close probably to you, to Rocket League in general.
It's very close.
Watching the trailer, there is a section where the car drives by a storefront, and it says Dunham up there. That's your last name, Jeremy.
Yeah, I promise you, I did not ask him to put that there.
See, I've known Jeremy a long time. I don't believe that promise.
I didn't.
The video team was literally giggling about that. We can't wait till we spring this on Jeremy.
It was a surprise for me, and I appreciate it. It was nice.
Are there other Easter eggs hidden there?
There are a ton. The trailer was actually designed to be watched many, many times. And so the first time you see it, you'll see everything that we intended for you to see as sort of like the big headline. But go back and watch it a few times, and you'll see that we put a bunch of hidden stuff in there. There are hints to what's in our next Rocket Pass in there. There are hints as to what's in our next crate in there. There's hints as to ways that you can unlock content that might not otherwise be obtained in there.
Wow.
And there's just a lot of fun stuff in there too. So I'd recommend going back, watching it a few times, and take some notes, because some of them actually might be helpful for you guys to get extra content in the game.
You guys are psychos.
For real. Detail, man.
People.
Details.
So is that the trailer's made in-house? Do you have a video team that's working on it?
Generally, yes. This is we have a small video team. This one was made by them, but we did get the help from an outside group named Capacity to help us with some of the CG elements, because we were so small, and because there are so many licenses. There's just a lot of work and back and forth. So they were great partners and helped. But in general, 95% of what we do internally with our own art team. His team's been a big help to our creative services team and the creative services team itself.
Scott, we've talked a lot about the future and what it could be and where it could go and all these different things. How does that firm up as game director as you look down of what Rocket League's future is? Is it the next 3 months are pretty set in stone, but then it starts getting looser, or is it in general, there's initiatives?
That's pretty much it. The near term is written in stone, and then it just comes down to stability bugs. Is this ready to go out? And hopefully it is. And then down the line, I've got a wish list of features and improvements that's pretty huge, and it's really prioritizing those. For me, a pet thing I would want, but the game actually needs this for game health, would have to trump that. And so getting, I think after tournaments, we do want to start taking more passes on the social aspect of the game, and how do you get your friends in, and just become more of a group activity, because we do it now, but we could do a lot better, I think. And so over the next years, I'm not going to stop. I'm on this for the next 10 years, I hope. And so just keep on making it better and making it easier for people to connect with each other and feel like a star no matter what your rank is really where I want to take it.
Final minute of the panel. Obviously, Radical Summer, it started now, 9 weeks. Go Ghostbusters, go pick it up right now. What do you guys want to say to your community? You know what I mean? It's one of those, you guys talk so much to them, but I think it's rarely on a grand stage.
I would want to say, as always, thank you very much. You guys have been an amazing, amazing partner in this entire Rocket League development cycle, and we couldn't have done it without you. That's just a fact. So thank you very much, and keep the feedback coming. I promise we are listening to it.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rocket League Radical Summer is upon you right now. Go ahead and pick it up wherever video games are, because if you didn't notice, Rocket League is on everything. Guys, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you
very much.
Los Angeles, thank you for your time.
Thank you, everybody.
Go watch Ghostbusters!
Yeah.